Somebody asked me about Catholic women. They asked if it's time for them to start looking for women who are not Catholic women. I forget exactly why they can't find a good Catholic girl or anything like that. Um, I don't know if it's just that like all of them keep being fucked up, or if it's just that he's having a hard time finding them at his church, whether they're all married or if they're just not into him, or if there's just no women around at his church and things like that. I don't know which one it is. I have no clue, but um, he also said he used to date emo women. Now, uh, here's the thing about subcultures, and here's the thing about special interests. And religion, to call it a special interest is a little bit weird, but we're gonna file that underneath special interest just to just to for the sake of ease, right? Um, Women who don't have personalities or hobbies end up getting into a subculture because it's like going to the store to buy one. They buy dark clothing, they give themselves side cuts, they dye their hair when they get that side cut. They do their thing with that because it's easier than actually developing a real personality. It's easier than developing an actual moral compass, right? She can just default to whatever that subculture believes, right? I was dating a goth girl. We dated for a little under a year, if you could even call it dating. She's trying to be a famous Twitch streamer too, in her mid 30s, while overweight on SSRIs and not looking very good. But I dated her, and it was just funny because like her whole thing was like, I'm a goth, we believe this. I'm a goth, we believe that. I'm a goth, we believe this and that, right? And it's because she herself didn't have any original opinions or ideas. Everything was, well, as a goth, you know. Well, you see, as a goth, we believe in this and that and the other thing, and that's why I dress this way. I don't dress like those other girls and stuff like that, right? That's what happens with women who get into subcultures. It happens with men too, but we're talking about women here, okay? Um, so to date, based around whether a girl is Catholic, whether a girl is an emo, whether a girl is a goth, a liberal, a conservative, a this or a that or another thing, you're setting yourself up for an automaton. That is what she is. She's an automaton. She has a pre-programmed way of looking at things, of behaving, and of thinking about things, and reacting and acting and all that other stuff. And because of that, there's going to be a lot of baggage that comes along with it. Then, in addition to that, you got to ask what caused her to become that, right? This is something that Sam talks about. When it comes to like, based orthodox trad wife, right? Was she raised Orthodox and she stuck with it her whole life? Did she decide one day on her own she's going to start reading the Orthodox Bible, whatever version of the Bible they read? Or was there a guy who, through penile insemination, put Orthodox beliefs in her fucking head? Chances are it's the latter, right? If not, then there's probably some other thing that caused her to be that way that, while it's unfortunate, and I'm not saying it makes them a bad person, you probably don't 1,000,000% want that in your life, if we're just being honest here, right? You probably don't want that all over you, right? That girl, I won't say what it was, but she had some stuff happen to her when she was younger that definitely 100% led to her becoming a goth and adopting those principles and those beliefs, and also becoming a major like carousel rider, a major carousel rider, to use sort of an antiquated manosphere term, right, from back when I actually gave a shit about that stuff. When you're looking for girls who they're into a certain subculture and stuff like that, chances are they're not in it for the right reason. They're in it because of some other thing that happened to them, right? Whether that thing is some kind of trauma that they need to get over, that they are going to take out on you in some way, shape, or form, or if it's that their last boyfriend was Catholic, so now she's like, yeah, I pray the rosary, regardless of what it is. So keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. In addition to that, to go into Christianity a little bit deeper, because you asked about Catholics, there is no such thing as a good person. We are all fucked up, myself included. I do fucked up things. I've done fucked up things. Recently, I've done fucked up things, right? If I'm being honest with you, right? I am not perfect in any way, shape, or form, and I am not a good guy in any way, shape, or form. I try to be the best that I can be, and that's all we are all trying to do. At least that's what we're supposed to be doing, right? Not all of us are trying, but I'm trying at least, right? Looking for a girl who's a Catholic specifically, it may, and I'm not saying it 1,000,000% is with the guy who asked this, but it may be coming from a standpoint of, I want a good person. I want a good person to be in my life. And I think Catholics are good people. They're not. Catholics are not good people. Neither are Protestants. Neither are Orthodox people. We are all sinners at the end of the day. That is the foundational ego-breaking thing that you have to understand when it comes to getting over yourself and getting over other people and stuff like that, right? Is that we are all fucked up. So looking for a girl who's Catholic, because you think she's going to be good. No, she's not. She's going to be bad because we're all bad, right? So there's that. Just keep that in mind. And the same goes for Orthodox people. The Ortho bros sitting here high-fiving like, yeah, fucking fuck Catholics. Fuck you guys. How about that? Fuck you guys. You're just as bad as we are. And in some ways, you're worse. Let's be honest here. But with that said, going beyond that, what you should be looking for is a girl who is going to make your life easier for you. A girl who you are going to look forward to building a life with. A girl that you would be willing to sacrifice the best parts of yourself for. And what I mean is, you're willing to work long hours, and because of that, you can't get to the gym, and because of that, you're fat now. Because you're working those long hours, you don't have time to make your grilled chicken and rice, and because of that, you're eating Chinese food at the office for dinner a couple nights a week. That's what you should be looking for in a girl, right? A girl where even though you can get by just fine, you're like, yo, like, I love this woman so much, and she treats me so well that I'm willing to work extra hours that I don't even need to work, so that maybe we can go on vacation in the summertime. Maybe we can afford that thing that she really wants, that we really want, etc., etc. That's what you should be looking for. You should be looking for a girl who is going to be a team player, and because she's a team player, you want to be an even better team player for her. Right? And that is an issue with a lot of people today, but especially women, is that women are not taught to be team players. That's what home economics class was. That's what sewing class was. That's what typing class was for girls back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, even up into the 80s, right? I think even in the 90s, you had some places that had those classes, and it was mostly for the ladies. It was mostly for women, cooking class, right? Because these women were being taught to be team players for their husbands. In addition to that, women were also taught how to be tolerable, right? Outside of just utility, outside of just like cook for your husband, they were taught how to be capable of being loved, capable of people being around them without being like, yo, shut up, shut up, shut up. You were an annoying bitch. Get away from me. They were also taught that, right? This is why, like, you had women who were like, older women. They talk about like, that's not very ladylike. That's not very ladylike. That's not very ladylike what you're doing. Be a lady. You're a lady. Hey, you're a lady. Be a lady, right? That's why older mothers were nagging their daughters. Old school moms are or were virulent, absolutely just morally devoid of any morality. If they have a daughter who's like that, she's not going to find a stable relationship. She'll find relationships because there will be guys who are dumb enough to date her. They're distracted by how pretty she is, or maybe she's able to hide it for a little while. She's able to keep it together every now and again, right? They will they will be able to find relationships, but it's never going to be anything serious. And if it does get serious, it's going to crash and burn at some point. That's just the way that it is. So that's why we used to have classes in school for sewing, for typing, and things like that. That's why we used to have mothers who were like, "Hey, you're wearing a skirt. Cross your legs. Cross your legs. Hey, don't speak out of turn, dear. Don't. Hey, the men are handling it. Let the men handle it. There's no need for you to get involved in it. That's men's business, right? That's why that was a thing." Excuse me, is because women were being taught how to be team players. But now, just the thought of that, just the notion that just the notion, right, that women should maybe bring something to the table, or at the very least be like okay to be around. The very thought that women should be like tolerable, that you should be able to be around them and not hate that they're here, not hate that they're like bothering you with their shit, with their stupid emotional bullshit, right? The very notion of that, the very second you start to believe anything like that, they're calling you an incel, they're calling you gay, they're calling you a woman hater and things like that, you know? Yeah, I'm a gay incel with a wife. Yeah, that's me. I'm the world's first gay incel that is married to a woman. Yeah, that's what it is. Fucking, it's insane, you know? And then the idea that I hate women because I want to be around them, because I want to be able to be around them without being like, dude, shut up and get away from me. Outside of that, it's like it's cool that you can just have them around and there's no trouble. You know, and that's what you need in a woman, right? I don't think women make great friends in the first place. I don't see a reason for men and women to be friends, right? It's not a big thing. It's like friends to me is like we check in on each other on occasion, and you know, maybe I collab with you. With that said, like when there's girls you can just like show up to a place at and you're like, "Oh shit, Trish is here." It's cool that Trish is here. I feel like the atmosphere is improved because Trish is here. That's really sweet, dude. Hell yeah, that's sick. Cool. That's like such a great thing. And that's a lost art today. That's a lost thing. That's not something that happens anymore. That's not something that exists anymore. And it's because women are just not taught to be team players anymore. And I know, men too, men too, men too, men too, men too, men too. All right, fine, whatever. Fuck off. But like, we're talking about looking for wives right now. I kind of went all over the place here, but it can all, if you look at it the right way, it can all kind of come back to that central question of, should I go for Catholic chicks, right? Should I go for X chicks? Should I go for goth? Should I go for emo? Should I go for scene? Should I go for trad, Catholic, Orthodox, liberal, conservative, fucking national socialist, communist, whatever, right? Like, it all goes back to that central theme if you know how it relates, right?